Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Happy Monday to you and your family. We're taking a look here, of course, again at Terra Classic, helping understand best practice, big picture, and exactly why the price action is coming down the way that it is. I called this yesterday, of course, just based on the simple fact that there was a low amount of volume in addition to a doji candle coming down to retest that ascending trend. So it doesn't mean that we're in the doghouse just yet, it just means that there's a natural correction. This is very common. Okay, so that being said, not a financial advisor, love teaching people to trade. Hope you can learn something here today. If you do want to become a better trader, I've been trading for over 16 years. I have a trading academy, community, and signal group where you can essentially learn and grow as a trader with my community. I teach you everything that I know in my academy, and on top of that, of course, I have signals that I send out for every single trade that I take, and we've been very profitable lately to the upside, long positions with other coins. I personally am staying out of Terra Classic just based on I don't really care to have this much volatility in my trading, but once again, it's doing exactly what we're expecting it to do, and that's pretty standard. So let me go ahead and explain what I mean by that. So first of all, when you can see the price action coming up here, a lot of it, I wouldn't say it's paired specifically with Bitcoin, but if you see Bitcoin goes down, Terra Classic goes up. Bitcoin goes up, Terra Classic goes down. Not saying there's a direct correlation or connection, but it is important to recognize the fact that when one thing goes up, another thing comes down. There's somewhat of an inverse pairing, and it has a lot to do with Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance is on the rise right now, which implies that a lot of money is coming into Bitcoin. And what kind of money is coming into Bitcoin? Profits from altcoins. That's essentially what's happening. So profits are being taken from specific altcoins, especially those who are the largest, and essentially taking the most volume, and they're basically going right into Bitcoin. So a lot of whales, retail investors, whatever you want to call it, people that aren't us, they're the ones that are effectively doing this. Okay, and why they're doing it? It makes perfect sense. They take profits from what's profitable, put it into something else that's likely going to go up, because the anticipation right now is that Bitcoin's going to go higher. It's retesting key level resistances. It's up over some strong resistances, of course, working those as a support level now. And all in all, Bitcoin is looking very strong. Okay, that strength comes from traditional markets, but also got to recognize that that has a lot to do with the reason why Terra Classic is coming down. Okay, so just note that try not to get deflated by this. This is just kind of a natural progression of how trading works, and this is a kind of a common thing. Okay, so it wouldn't hurt to add to your position as the price comes down if this is a big long-term investment for you, but generally speaking, we want to kind of see how much worse it's going to get, right? That's the whole point of this. So let's kind of take a look. Let's look at the standard stuff. RSI is coming down. We actually want this to happen. This is fantastic in a small way because you can only sustain a price point over 70 for so long. And Terra Classic was up over 70 on the RSI for almost a week and a half, about 10 days almost. That's a lot of time above a key level resistance, specifically one that has this natural gravity of pulling the price action down. So that being said, that's a good thing there. The disadvantageous thing, of course, is the fact that we do have a significant MACD divergence occurring. This doesn't necessarily imply the price is just going to drop like a rock, but it certainly doesn't help. We do have a support level at 50 on the RSI. Commonly, that is a strong support level. So we still have that to fall back on. So the price action does come down as low as just say 33.3 or 28.6. Then we should experience the price action essentially bouncing off that level. There's a good chance we'll get that. For now, we got to expect the price to continue lower just based on the overall sense that we're just barely into this transition here. So we take a look at TD sequential. What do you know? Big surprise. We've been in overtime for a full week and a half, and now the price action wants to come back down. So this is like literally the second or third day of correction. So you can't be super surprised by it based on how strong it increased and how well outside of those standard deviation lines it was able to progress based on its volume. And we take a look at the volume weighted average price. Take a look at this here on let's just go with the 4 hour. You can see well outside the standard deviation lines that it keeps pushing itself higher and higher. All right, it hit 2 nines on TD sequential in a row and effectively pushed us, into this extreme state where the price action has to come back down. So I've been trying to teach this the whole time I've been covering this video, this coin, to help you understand that, again, these are very natural progressions. This is something that's extremely common. Okay, so when the price action is coming down like this, lower highs and lower lows, we got to expect it's going to continue until it breaks that trend. All right, it isn't broken yet, so we got to expect it to continue. All right, but it makes perfect sense though, following all that over exhaustion, right? Try running a race, for example, and just running 2 races in a row per se. Unless you're really highly trained for that, it's not going to work very well. Well, what Terra Classic did, it went on 3 sprints in a row, and now it's exhausted. It needs to rest and recover. That's essentially the concept you want to try to think about. Again, it's not the best analogy, but it's the one I got right now. So let's take a look here at the RSI. You can see RSI, we lost 50, so that was a previous support level. Essentially, that support level was right here at the level of about 40,000. So losing that level kind of implies that we should experience somewhere in the range of 33,300 as a potential next decrease. All right, so just keep that in mind. That is potential. No guarantees it's going to continue lower, but it certainly looks like it wants to. Again, so if we take a look at TD sequential, just keep this in mind. We came down to a 9, which is nice, right? Consolidated sideways. Now we're coming back down again. Bitcoin does this very frequently, where it consolidates at a range and then essentially loses itself. So what I'm experiencing and seeing here, in my experience rather, I feel as if we're going to see a little bit further downside, because even though we came down to a 6 and kind of got a reset, regular markets are doing fantastic right now. And I feel as if, Terra Classic has somewhat of an inverse pairing there. And in that sense, if we expect Bitcoin to go up, we should probably expect Terra Classic to go down, which kind of minimizes the whole potential. And I'm not going to touch on this because I know it's a sensitive subject for a lot of folks, but hitting $1 for Terra Classic literally makes no sense at all. All right, it's not going to be sensible to be able to hit that, especially if it's doing poorly when Bitcoin does well, right? Again, there's a gravity of trading and how it works. A lot of things are aligned or disaligned. We got to recognize that. So anyways, just throwing something out there. Try not to be super naive in the fact that you're going to get rich with this coin. While there is potential, there's an extreme potential for losing your investment too. You got to recognize there's always 2 sides of the story. And me, personally, I like to help minimize risk and maximize gains, and that's why I have a Trading Academy community and Signal group. Be sure to check that out because it's really helped a lot of folks. In fact, we got some graduates recently that are speaking highly of it. It's a fantastic situation. So I'm really happy to be kind of part of that. It's really awesome. Thank you so much. So taking a look, of course, at the 1 hour, let's go ahead and do one last look. We can see we are below the cloud. We are conversion line below the baseline and lagging spans free and clear price action. Same exact story from yesterday. That's why I said it was going to come down, and it has still continued. That happens because the cloud is telling us that it's going in that direction, right? So we have that basically confirmation that a short position is viable. The only other thing, that little last-ditch effort that I mentioned previously that could potentially still hold, because again, the trading day isn't over yet, is this support level here, this ascending type of trend on the 1 hour. In other words, when a trend retests levels multiple times, it becomes stronger. However, this is the 3rd attempt and is currently below that trend line, so the likelihood of it continuing lower from here is pretty high. And you can see that it kind of worked as a resistance level, right? So as soon as it broke below, now it can't get back above and effectively holding the price action in place. So again, for the most part, Terra Classic still in decent shape, but it would be naive to think that it's just going to blast off to the moon tomorrow because of the simple fact that it has to take its profits. It increased significantly. You got to recognize in under 2 weeks, we saw a 500% increase. That has to come, the bill comes due, all right? There's just no other way around it. And right now, it's paying for it. So I hope that you had taken some profits when I recommended so earlier in the week, but again, different strokes for different folks. I get it, depending on your overall position and what you're planning to do with it. You want to obviously articulate that according to your risk tolerance. Those are things I teach in my Trading Academy, so be sure to check that out. But once again, at this point, we're here, and this is essentially the reality. I think 33,300 is a likely next target for the price action to come down lower. So consider that. All right, well, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. We'll take another look at this again tomorrow. Hopefully it was a great learning experience. If so, comment below, let me know. Love to hear from you. Feel free to reach out to me through instant message, etc. It's all down in the comments below. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks again for your time. We'll see you next one.